Today we're talking about killers with zero remorse, shady setups, and people close to DJ Warras who might know more than they're saying. Stick around because I'm breaking it all down in a way that will leave you questioning what really happened to a man fighting for the restoration of the Johannesburg CBD. Just the raw facts with some real talk on how evil this whole thing is. Subscribe and hit that like button to support our quest for the truth. Let's start with the scene of the crime, because this part will blow your mind. Picture this. It's a busy Monday afternoon near the Carlton Center, one of the busiest spots in Joburg. DJ Warras walks out of a building towards his vehicle, and boom, 3 guys ambush him. The main shooter, this short dude with dreadlocks, walks right up and unloads multiple shots at point-blank range, hitting him in the chest and chin. Warras tries to grab his own gun. He had a licensed firearm on him, but he collapses before he can even fire back. The killers don't even bother taking anything. No robbery here, just pure execution. And get this, nothing was stolen, which screams targeted hit. But here's where it gets even more twisted. The killer didn't just dip out and vanish. No. This cold-blooded monster returned to the scene not once, but twice. Yeah, you heard that right. After blasting Warras and running off with his 2 accomplices, the shooter slinked back into the crowd that was starting to gather. He pretended to be just another shocked bystander, standing like he was horrified by what he just did. Witnesses said he blended right in, no panic, no sweat, just evil lurking in plain sight. Then, he disappeared again, only to show up a second time, this time rocking blue overalls to change up his look. He milled around near the journalists and paramedics who were arriving, probably making sure the job was done or getting some sick thrill out of it. CCTV caught parts of this, showing the trio plotting beforehand, and police are using that footage to track them. How brazen is that? These guys aren't human. They're predators who get off on the chaos they create. It makes you wonder what kind of world we're living in, where someone can kill in broad daylight and then hang around like it's no big deal.
Briefly, because we're almost out of time, but I've got 2 things I'd like to confirm with you, MMC. The first being a report, I don't know if you've seen it, from Netwerk 24, News 24, pardon me, saying that people have told the publication that one of the attackers returned to the scene twice, pretending to be a bystander yesterday. And then another claim is that an accomplice of the triggerman was in the area earlier on Tuesday before the shooting and in fact stood outside the Zambezi building. Does that match what you have been able to gather even from the security cameras on that street?
Yeah. There's looking at the time, the duration of, I mean, when we get this information from these guys who've taken them in, DJ Warras was there for like almost 2 hours, and this thing happened after 2 hours. So, meaning that these guys, they just had a time of regrouping and checking and looking what is it doing and all of that. So it was not like he came in and then they just killed him. So it happened like after a while that he was actually been there. So that actually matches that, in terms of what will actually happen. It fits that. That's why we're saying that we're not going to go very far. We're asking everyone in the building, someone somewhere in those buildings, someone must know something, and something has actually got to give. Mm-hmm. So we're just questioning everyone just to plot in terms of what we're going to do, but something's going to happen tomorrow. In terms of those committees in that building, every time when we do raids, not even on this one, they're the first ones who are very rude, and some of them, they hide behind of being poor and, the working class, we are struggling and all of that, and they're roping sale. So their modus operandi is not going to fly at this point in time. And they threaten every security company that is actually sent by the owner that is there. So we will actually going to be taking action. We have to ask everyone in that building. Someone must be knowing something, and there are people. It has also been alleged that probably some of the people who have organized this hit are actually staying in the building. Even probably the person who triggered is staying in the building. Those are allegations, but we are moving in. We don't want to reveal much, but we know that there was too much time of when Warras was there on the ground to really probably work around it and check and see what is his moves, and then there was a hit. So someone saw an opportunity.
As you say, sir, time is of the essence. How soon should we expect arrests if you've got all of this information?
Look, our raids are going to be happening very soon. I know that the crimes unit in the province, they've reached out. We've been sharing information. Everyone is working on it. JMP, the TRU is full swing working on it. We are on the ground. We've interviewed some of the private officers. So we're doing this. I mean, the DJ Warras was a very a good person. The only thing that I can just offer to the family, not to just go there and say condolences, but to saying that we're doing everything and we're going to find the person. We haven't contacted the families yet, but we're looking for all these guys so that their family can actually get some answers of what is happening. So we're working 24 hours. Even now, some of the suspects have been of the people have been questioned at the Joburg Central. JMP, the TRU, all the shifts are flooding the city, listening to who might have done the hit and talking to some of the informers that we know on the ground, just in terms of what is happening. So that we don't get this thing called we are helping SAPS as well, even though it's not our mandate, but we've taken upon ourselves. Let us be on the ground, eyes and ears, talking to the investigators.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about how Warras even ended up there that day. From what we've pieced together, he was straight up lured to his death with a phone call. He was at the Zambezi building, also called Zambezi House, a place that's been hijacked by squatters and syndicates for years. His company, Imperium Security, or JTVIP, was hired by the building's real owner to clean it up, install cameras, biometrics, collect rent, and evict the illegal occupants. Tough job, right? Warras had been getting death threats left and right because of it. He even got 5 protection orders from the courts against people who wanted him gone. On that fateful day, he's inside the building handling business, and then he gets this call. Reports say it was from someone connected to the operations there, maybe even the last person he spoke to before stepping out. He walks toward his car, still on the phone, distracted, and that's when the ambush hits. It's like they timed it perfectly, knew exactly when he'd be vulnerable. Who makes that call? Who sets him up like that? This wasn't random. It was a trap, plain and simple. Warras was a fighter, trying to reclaim these buildings from the criminals who hijack them and turn them into slums, charging poor people rent while the real owners get nothing. And for that, someone decided to end him. It's infuriating. Here's a guy doing the right thing, and these cowards lure him out like bait. Speaking of cowards, let's zero in on this woman who's at the center of a lot of this mess. She's being called a kingpin, and honestly, that fits. She's one of the people Warras had a protection order against. Just got it on December 12th, a few days before the murder. She lives in the Zambezi Flats, part of this committee that's basically running the hijacked building like their own empire. Threats were flying, stuff like, "We'll burn the place down," or "We'll deal with you," if he kept pushing evictions. Police have her pegged as a person of interest, and they've hauled in 5 others for questioning, likely her associates. Is she the one who put the hit out? Did she have the connections to hire these shooters? Come on. With all those threats and her position in that syndicate, it's not hard to connect the dots. She's profiting off chaos, exploiting vulnerable people, and when someone like Warras steps in to fix it, she turns to violence. What kind of person does that? It's disgusting. She's no victim. She's a puppet master pulling strings from the shadows, and she needs to be held accountable.
Those people inside the building, the people of interest, have been issuing threatening statements and all of that. Mm-hmm. So we are questioning everyone. The motive, yes. There's There's a woman as well cited to be the kingpin in that, is cited also in the protection order. I won't be able to, they said I must stop naming names now, so I just named them. So the woman is the woman of interest. There's a committee there that has been threatening Warras, and also some of them have been saying that they because he wants to take them out, then they will see them in the bush. In other words, in Zulu, they will tell you that and Dr. Pumala, before Pumi, so Divane Etatin. Some of these people have been uttering those kind of words to DJ Warras. Hence, he has to go and get the protection order. So we're getting the bottom of it in terms of what really happened. We're asking everyone close to him. So that's what we have. Those people have been brought in for questioning by the violent crime unit of the province.
To be clear then, on the woman, is she a suspect? And I know there were 5 protection orders. Why is she taken in for questioning? And what is in the other in the protection order regarding her conduct that is perhaps different or more suspicious from whoever might be mentioned in the others?
Yeah, look, if you check there, what they're saying that those women, and so it's a committee, they've been intimidating the security guys there. If you read it, it's quite very, very, very bad. Like they've been threatening them to burn down the building. They've been threatening to eliminate those security officers. So it does clear. There's an affidavits that were submitted that there is an intimidation against them, and then the order says it gives authority to SAPS in the Joburg Central to raid that place of those individuals to check if there are any firearms, any axes, and all of that. So that project order, it does say in terms of what has been happening there. That's why we're saying that we're taking everyone for questioning and all of that. So, and also on our side of the JMP, the TRU, with the law enforcement, we might have to pay a visit into that area, but we're not going to announce it.
And then there's Innocent, Warras's right-hand man, his trusted aide who was usually by his side during these risky ops. Where was he on December 16th? Nowhere to be found. The Johannesburg public safety guy, Mangchini Chwaku, even went public appealing for Innocent to come forward because he might have key info. He is now being questioned by the police as they believe he might provide some helpful info on their quest to solve this case. But his absence on the day is already looking a bit calculated. This guy was Warras's go-to, always there for the tough stuff, and on the day his boss gets taken out, he's MIA? What does he know? Was he in on it, or is he scared silent? Police are questioning him as a potential witness, but let's be real. His absence raises red flags.
But I want to start with the associate who you say has been taken in for questioning. This is the gentleman who you mentioned when you spoke to SABC News on Morning Live this morning. I think you said his name was Ishmael, right? So what is the reason why he has been taken in for questioning? Because when you spoke to us this morning, you said he was not with Warras during yesterday's visit, which was different from when they'd gone to Zambezi building in the past.
So we want to really get to understand what has been happening, because the lawyers of who are managing that building say that he's always with DJ Warras every single time. But every time when he is in the city, he will always be actually there. And in this particular time, we don't understand, well, some question in terms of what happened, why he was not there, because we believe that Warras was there with another settled company to install a biometric and the CCTV cameras. And we, with the information we got now, he was there actually for a very long time without his proper security, the detail, and then Innocent was not there as well. So, and then also we understand that he was the last person to have a conversation with DJ Warras. So it's part of the investigation just to get the bottom of it. What was the motive for the killing of Warras?
So you say his name is Innocent, not Ishmael, as I was saying earlier. So it has he been taken in for questioning with the view that he might become a suspect?
No, we just want to ask, because there's those individuals. We believe that this is a hit. This was a hit actually directed at him, because in some of the and investigations and the people that we've actually been questioning, there's been a lot of intimidation on him and his life, because also of the opening of these protection orders.
Wrapping this up, folks, this murder has shaken South Africa to its core. Warras was only 40, with 3 young kids left behind, and tributes are pouring in from big names like politicians and celebs calling out the crime wave in Joburg's inner city. Police are on a full manhunt, reviewing more CCTV, tracing the gun, which jammed on the last shot, by the way, and urging anyone with tips to come forward. They say it's a contracted hit, with a price on his head, tied to these building wars where syndicates fight back against anyone trying to take back control. It's heartbreaking, but it's also a wake-up call. These killers are out there, bold as ever, returning to gloat over their victim. The lure via that phone call shows how calculated it was. That woman kingpin and her threats paint a picture of greed and power gone wrong. And innocence no-show? That's got to be explained. Justice needs to come swift for Warras. He was out there making a difference, and these monsters cut him down. If you know anything, speak up. Hit like if this story fired you up, subscribe for more real talk breakdowns, and drop your thoughts in the comments.